Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about UI element creation, and also in this session we will discuss about the purpose of attributes, and how can we work with the UI elements, and all those things we can see in this session. So first, execute SAT object navigator. From this drop down, choose Webdynpro component or interface. Just give a proper name, demo input field. Just press enter, click on yes, on demo on input field. Okay, and see here, window name is as usual, the default name, that means the component name itself, and the default view name is main view. Just click on enter. Yeah, save it as local package, local object. Just double click on this. So my requirement is just a simple requirement. So I will create input field, and I will create a button. That means some get data like that. So whenever I press get data button after entering the material number into this field, so I will get the material description, and I will display it in that particular field. Simple thing, friends. I will enter material number, and after inputting I will press get data button. Whenever I press get data button, material description will be automatically populated into this field. Simple thing. So in this requirement, what I am gonna to do is I need total 3 UAE elements. One is material number, that's input field, and get data, it's a push button, and material description, it's a just text field. So let's see how can we work with these things. So for that we need to first go to the main view. In the view itself, we will design our layout part, and we will create our context, everything. So first let's see what is meant by context. If you see in our normal ABAP reports, where we will store our data, variables, if it is fixed, and constants. So how we will declare these things? Using data or constants, like this. Data is going to be stored in, if it is single record, work area, or if it is multiple records, item. In the same way, in Webdynpro, if you want to store your data, then you have to create a context node or context attribute. So what is meant by context node and what is meant by context attribute means simple thing. Just check here. I am creating a simple type Samara matnor type matnor. at METKL and off. See here, and one more thing. If you check here, L underscore TV underscore Mara is it's a structure which is which includes matnar one attribute and matcall another attribute. So it contains two attributes, and here matnar is single attribute. So that means if you want to store a record, then you declare that work area of type this structure, and if you want to declare any item, then you declare you create any table type or type table of this structure, something like that. In the same way, if you want to store any group of related attribute data like METN or METKL, these two are some related attributes data. I want to store these things as a single record. That's why I declared a structure and I stored it into some work area or something like that. In the same way, in Webdynpro also, if you want to group some related attributes, and now we will see how to create the context. So go to the context tab, and here in this is the root node for the all the context nodes. Just right click on this, create node. So see here, our requirement is first we need to create a input field for material number. After that we need to create a push button. After that we need to display the data for material description. So first we need to create material number, and see here material number means we can create a single attribute or we can create a node, but we will see both the cases. Just now first I am going to create an attribute. Just right click, create attribute. You can create node or attribute. And now if you want to create any input field and any button and anything, any UI element, so you need to change the layout. That's first thing. And the second thing is, see here, in the runtime we are going to enter some value into the material number field, and based on that material number, whenever the user presses get data button, we are going to fetch the material description, and we are going to display that material description into this particular field. We are going to populate that particular description, and we are not going to do any changes to this description. So to do any changes at data level in runtime, so we need to do some binding. Some binding concept is there in the Webdynpro. This is the most important thing in Webdynpro, binding. So binding means it's nothing but associating the UI elements with the attributes, or else simply you can say the context. Simple thing. So binding is nothing but the associating between the UI elements with the context. So what is meant by associating UI elements with the context? Let's discuss. Say for suppose I have material I have entered some material number at runtime. So, and after entering material number, first in order to get the material description, you need to read the material number value first of all. So after that we need to fetch the material description from the corresponding table, and then we need to populate this to material description field. So that material number, that value should be get into this Webdynpro environment. So in order to achieve that one, we have context. So context we can create, as discussed earlier. Context may be a node or attribute. So node is to define a particular structure, means to combine the related attributes, and attribute means single attribute, nothing. So first we discuss about how to create a node, material number. So for material number, just right click on context, create node attribute. You can create either node or attribute, whatever it is. So time being I am creating node. So I will discuss later why can't we create attribute to create the material number unit field and to build the binding between UI element. So we should create node only. So for that node you can give whatever the name you want. Time being I am just giving Mara. And dictionary structure. So what is this one? Means if you click on this F4 help, just check what I am doing. So it's asking for table name. Just I am giving Mara. It's okay. See here, Mara dictionary structure. Just check here, continue or add attributes from structure. If you check here, for this structure we have some attributes, mat nor, mat call, something like that. So if you want to add some attributes from the dictionary structure directly to the node, you need to click on this one, add attributes from dictionary structure. See, so many fields are there. What are the fields you want to include? Just matnor. So for our requirement only material number is sufficient. So I am just adding matnor only. Just press OK. See, matnor is added. And here you need to observe few things. If you double click on node, you can see the node properties in the below pane. See, this is node name and this is a dictionary structure from where we retrieved the attributes. And see here, cardinality selection. Two things are there for node. One is cardinality and one is selection cardinality. Just remember these things. Before end of this application, I will discuss about these things. Node cardinality. The second one is selection cardinality. This also plays major role in Webdynpro application design. And for node, the default node cardinality, the default cardinality is 1 to 1, and for the selection cardinality is default one is 0 to 1. Here we can find different types of cardinalities, 0 to 1, 1 to 1, 0 to n, 1 to n. In the same way for selection also, 0 to 1, 1 to n, 1, 0 to n, 1 to n. Yes, right. And initialization, lead section, singleton, supply function, advanced topics we can discuss later. Just time being, just remember how to create a node and how to create attributes under that node. And one more thing. So till now we have seen how to create a context node and how to add the attributes to that node, and what are the properties of context node. And now see the properties of context attribute. So attribute name, type, and what's the data type of this context attribute. And some properties are there: read only, default, null value, input help mode. All those advanced topics we can discuss in later sessions. Yeah. And now just we have worked with till now creation of material number only. And one more thing, and the next one, we need to populate the material description value in the runtime also. So for that also binding should be done. That means here in the first case what we are doing means we are entering some value in the runtime and we are reading that value into our Webdynpro environment. And in this case we are populating some value into the context attribute, and that attribute value we are populating into the run, we are sending to runtime environment. So just reverse whatever it is, uh, from Webdynpro environment to runtime environment or runtime environment to Webdynpro environment data transfer, whatever the data transfer is, we need some binding between these element and context. So for first case we have created one attribute, context attribute, and the second case we need to create material description. So for material description also we will get from the Mara table only. So you can do in two ways. You can create one more node, and in that under that node you can create a matkl attribute, or else as we are, since we are getting the data from the same dictionary structure, we can create one more attribute under this node also. So to create another attribute for the existing node, just right click on the node, create using the wizard. Create means it will ask for subnode or some child node or some recursion node something. And if you want to create another attribute, create using the wizard attributes from the components of structure. Whatever the structure is there, see, Mara structure is there. From that structure we can add additional components. This is already selected because we already added the matter. And what else we need? Mat call. That's it. Just press enter. See, it's added here. matkl. Done. That's it. Context part done, and we're gonna change the layout part. So different UI elements are there. So what are the UI elements we require for our functionality? One is input field to enter material number. Second one is some button, get data button, and material description. See here material description, we are not going to enter any value into the material description. We are just going to display the material description into this field. So this should be read only. And first, material number, just right click on, as I already told you, root UI element container is the parent for all the UI elements, and here context is the parent node of all the nodes. Remember these things, very important at the interview point of view. What is the parent element and what is the parent node? Just right click on this, or else you can drag and drop from here also. Insert element ID, just I am giving matnar, and type would be input field. Just press enter. See here, actually this is not the correct way, because here I have created matnar field, and for this some label should be displayed like this: material number, after this area to enter the data. Time being I have just created the area to enter the data. And if you want to create the label, right click, insert element, label underscore matnar label. Yes. The label should be in the first it should be this way. Just to reposition, just drag and drop. See, it's automatically affected here. And see here, for label, two mandatory properties are there. This color indicates the mandatory properties. One is label for and another one is text. Label for means what we need to select is for which input field this label is pointing out. Just if you go push on drop down, automatically you will get those things. And text, we need to get a description for these things by binding with the context attribute. So now we got the complete input field. See, this is too lengthy process, so we can minimize this problem. Just this is one way of creating input field. First we need to create the label, first we need to create the input field. After that we need to create a label, and we need to assign that label for this input field, and we need to bind the text property with the attribute to get the dictionary text directly to default it this label. Or else we can create, just I am deleting this one, just right click on this, create container form, select the context Mara, so matnar matfall. Here you can change the type of UI element, dynamic color, that's your wish. You want binding or not, that's it. As I told you earlier, matfall should be read only. Just see here what's gonna happen. See, all come under the same line. So if you want to make them alignment properly, then see here, for each container, this is a container, total is called as container. Different types of containers are there. Root UI element container, this is the default one, and transparent container. See, this is the transparent container. This type is transparent container. Transparent container means the container border or any properties cannot be visible. Just it can hold different UI elements and it aligns them properly. So for making alignment of different UI elements, we have to set a property of the container, that is layout. Different types of layouts are there: flow layout, form layout, grid layout, matrix layout, row layout. Most of the cases, not only most of the cases, 90% we used to go for matrix layout. So just press enter, the property will be assigned. So I want I want the material group element in the different line. Just go to this. For this, check two properties are there: matrix data and matrix head data. Matrix data property means that will come under the same line. If you select matrix head data, see, it comes under next line. And what about this? There is a first element, no property will be assigned, no layout data properties needs to be assigned. First element is always matrix head data properties by default. And now we want this material group should be default. Sorry, it should be read only. Just go to that field property. I am setting it as read only. See, it automatically affects here. Just observe the change. When I uncheck this, it's enabled for making input data, and when check this, it's disabled. Now two things are there: material number, material group. Sorry, I made it material description. It's not description, it's group. Sorry friends. Okay, and now what my requirement is, I need to add a button, get data button. Just same way, right click on this, insert element, button name I am giving as get data. So the property is button. So for button, what is the property required? just maintain the text, get data. It's fine, but it should be in the next line. Matrix head data is set, but see my requirement. First input field should be displayed, after that get data button should be there, after that material group should be populated. So I want to align these things again. Just hold this, drag and drop here. See what happens. It comes here. To make it into next line, just set the property matrix head data. Right? Matrix head data happened. Just save this timing. And one more thing, and via just design part completed and context part completed, and the main thing is, see, please observe something here. This button is in disable mode, means in inactive mode, not in active mode or enable mode. To make it active, when the button gets activated means, see, whenever I press this button, that some functionality should be done. That means for getting trigger some functionality to this button, we need to define one function. That function is nothing but on action event. So one event will get triggered when the button is pressed. That event is for the button, the event is on action. Just to create the event, click on this action, some get data description, to read, to get material group from Mara. That's it. Forget about remaining things, we will discuss later. When I press enter, see, get the action, the particular field is populated, get data. So for this get data, the action method is get data. And now see, by the time when I created this method, this is enabled. Little things, miscellaneous things you need to observe carefully here. And after creation of action handler, go to the actions tab. By default, action method is created with the same description, and for that event handler method is on action get data. That means whenever I press get data button at runtime, so which method is gonna trigger means on action get data event handler method is going to trigger, and that method is populated default in this methods tab. Under this method tabs we can find out that method. So the final method name is on action get data, and the method type is not normal method, it's an event handler method. Total we have three types of methods. One is method, normal method, and another one is event handler, and another one is supply function. Event handler method, we can create the event handler method on our own. That means from this we can create directly, or else default method event handler methods will be created by default whenever you maintain any action handlers for buttons. So if you want to implement, if you want to get trigger some functionality whenever this button is pressed, you need to implement everything under this method only. You can implement that method in different ways. Just double click on this, you can directly go to on action get data method, or else go back, go to the methods tab, just click on action get data, you can directly go. Now what my requirement is, first what I need to do, I need to read the material number value. So how to read? See friends, Webdynpro, in Webdynpro everything is simple, everything is simple, every piece of code you can directly, most of the code is auto generated only. Just see here, Webdynpro code wizard is there, that will automatically create the code. Click on this, choose the different operations, read, set, append. First we are going to work with the read property. Read the context, which context attribute you want to read. Matter I want to read, this context attribute I want to read. Okay, see, this is populated mara dot matnar. That means matnar attribute of mara node. Just press OK. See how much default code is generated here. Here you need to understand different things. What is node reference, what is these things, and see here, this is the main method getting triggered, get attribute. It reads the attribute with the name matnar at runtime and populates into lv underscore matnar attribute. This lv underscore matnar is of type some element underscore mara matnar, something is there. So we are reading this get attribute value into and populating into lv underscore matnar attribute. Based on this lv underscore matnar, we need to populate the value. Just to read matnar value. This is the first step. And the second step is I will discuss what is this way LO underscore EL underscore Mara, LO underscore and underscore, all those things. Don't worry about these things. Just time being, keep in mind to populate MATKL value attribute. Okay. So time being, get attribute method, what it is doing means it is reading the one context attribute value at runtime, which that context attribute name should be matnr, and populating it to lv underscore matnr value. And now I want to populate the value. To populate also no need to do any coding, just go to code wizard. This time we are populating a set context attribute, which value I am going to set, mat call value I am going to set, just like that. So here this mat call value setting attribute means it sets the context attribute with the name mat call with the value lv underscore matkl. So we need to populate this field based on matnar what we got. So select single matkl from Mara into lv underscore matkl, where matnr equal to lv underscore matnr, where whatever we did in the above part. Okay, just that's it, nothing else. And now I am moving all the data declaration part to the up only. Control X, Control V. Just after this I am making this. Okay. See, multiple declarations have been accepted because we are automatically populating the code. Duplication may happen. I will discuss all this code. First we need to understand the concept. After that I can discuss how this code is going to be generated and what is these data references, what is meant by everything. Each every interface we will discuss in depth. So now our part is done. Simple. That's it. Nothing else to do. Just save it. activate the component. Let's see any errors are there, or it will get activated. Yes, fine, it's activated. Switching into display mode. As I already told you in the previous session, to execute any Webdynpro component we need to create Webdynpro application. Work with the input field, that's it. Just save it, saving as local object. See, automatically one submenu is created. This is the application name, and again I am discussing about this thing, for which component this application belongs to, what is the default window name, and plug. Forget about this time. Save, test. See, application description, whatever we have given, that comes under the title of this one. Material number, check which one is populated. This 60, yeah, 68 has the material group. First I am giving 68. When I press get data, see, material group is populated. That's it. And in the next session I am going to discuss this cardinality left we will discuss in next session. First one, cardinality and selection cardinality. Second one, so internal code generation we will discuss. It comes under everything, whatever the default code is generated, how that is generated, what are the node references, what are the element references, all those things we will discuss. This takes around half an hour time, I guess. So these two main things, if you want to work with the further concepts, these two things you should understand properly, then only you can move forward. So okay, thank you my friends, have a nice day, take care, bye bye. We'll meet in next session. Thank you, bye bye.